Brought to you in association with Grendel Press. This is Werewolf the Podcast, a serial killer drama.
Welcome to Werewolf the Podcast. If you go to the description, there's links to find us on social media and things like that. There's books there, there's t-shirts, there's donations if you want to give us some money for what we do. I'd just like to say happy birthday to Dee. It's her birthday today. She is the delightful voice artist who plays Lucy and Trudure. So, happy birthday, Dee. Right, let's get on with the episode.
Belphastus. I returned to hell on my knees. That were irritating. Not because of the posture. I've knelt before worse things than Astaroth in my time. But because I hadn't planned to return so theatrically. The floor was cold and black marble this time. It were probably polished by centuries of fallen pride, and it rang when I struck it, because hell is a place that enjoys punctuation. It felt like a better quality hell this time already. Marble were a lot better than that gravelly shite that were here last time I was about. I stayed there, initially on my knees, a moment longer than necessary. I had to work out where I was and what I were working with. I were going to have to work out who I were going to look up and see and all. Astaroth? Lucifer? Some other dastardly demonic bastard? I needed to let him think I were discombobulated. Let him think I were heart shaken. I had a look to see. It were a reet sneaky look and all, I tell you, 'cause I'm a right sneaky bastard when I need to be. Oh, good. It were Astaroth in that obsidian seat. He weren't ready for me to be here, were he? He were humming some jaunty tune. Of all the indignities, that might have been the worst. I looked up, ready to make him aware I was here. Astaroth sat on throne that were Lucifer's, sprawled like a cat who discovered furniture and decided ownership were implied. One leg draped over arm, claws drawn. A whetstone screamed quietly as he sharpened them, blade song echoing through the chamber.
No one stabs like Astaroth, plots and jabs like Astaroth.
He noticed me halfway through rhyme.
Oh,
he said.
You're back. That was quick.
I rose carefully, waiting for the pain of the bastard stabs that had punctured me rock-hard abs. I dusted at the blood that wasn't there from clothes that didn't matter anymore. My mortal body were gone, of course, but the memory of the knife persisted. Pain has a way of overstaying its welcome, you see. Yes, I said mildly. That does seem to appear to be the bastard in situation. He frowned at me.
But you weren't meant to be.
Interesting phrasing. Not dead, not here. Meant to be. I were on Earth, I said, and then I weren't. He leaned forward, claws steepled, eyes narrowing. Old eyes, deep ones. Eyes that had watched gods be born and forgotten, and resented both.
Explain,
he asked. I mean, I could have said no or invented some tantalising bullshit of how it happened. But no. I might as well tell him the truth. And for some reason, I did. I told him about Tallyway, the cold, The hunger clinging to the man like a second skin, the knife shaking in his hand. The decision that finally snapped inside him like a bone under pressure. I didn't tell Astaroth that I laughed at him. I didn't tell him that I dismissed the man as irrelevant. I didn't tell him that I assumed myself untouchable. Instead, I chose my words very carefully. I unconsciously allowed it. Silence. Aye, I'm more surprised than you. I lied to the demon of lies. That single sentence did more work than 1,000 of those lies.
You allowed a mortal?
Astaroth said, slowly.
To kill you?
Asked an incredulous demon. He seemed to taste the nature of that sentence. I inclined my head. It had needed something to go right for him, I said. He needed a moment where the world acknowledged him, see? I don't know, perhaps we're being daft, but it felt the right thing to do. I looked the Duke Demon right in those empty eyeballs of his, eyes that were deep pools of life-sucking darkness. Yeah, and that were when I saw it. Oh, amazing, proper confusion, tiny, fleeting, but delicious. Astaroth knows me. Or he believes he does. He knows I'm ambitious, cruel, precise. He knows I do bugger all without intent. But what he does not know, what he cannot allow himself to consider, is that I would ever gamble without calculating thoughts.
You realize?
He said.
That returning here without certainties is not only dangerous, but I can use no other more appropriate word than simply stupid.
Standing now. Yeah, I said. Seemed like the right thing to do. Poor bloke were at his wit's end. I blatantly lied. I watched the thought bloom behind those black pits of eyes. Sacrifice implies faith. Faith implies purpose. And purpose implies worth.
Oh my, the third test,
he murmured. Oh, I said. I think you know that's impossible. So I just gave up trying. What were the point in trying to do the things you asked? I know, cowardly in a way, but I just gave up, I did. I used the right body language to display a broken, despondent man's, broken despondency. I had lots of practice in being broken, despondent. I worked at fucking McDonald's after all, so it were right easy. I fell into a silence, and I extended that silence. I said nothing. Silence can be right useful, you know. People rush to fill it with their own conclusions. We would see if demons did the same.
You were given 3 tasks.
Astaroth continued, circling me now. He were proper scary, he were.
1, gloriously impossible.
He paused to look at me.
1, callous and cruel.
He continued his circle as I stared at the floor, hiding the smile that I had spreading across my smoke-bastarding features.
1 meant to reveal what you truly are.
He stopped in front of me.
2, die willingly?
He said, almost reverently.
Without knowing what awaited you?
I met his gaze.
To let go of the power?
He went on.
Of certainty, of advantage?
He smiled then.
You passed.
I widened my eyes just enough to seem surprised.
Past what?
I asked, knowing exactly that I had not passed bugger all.
Well, you carried out what appears to be an altruistic task.
I tried to look more confused.
I did.
I asked. Internally, I allowed myself the smallest of satisfactions. Course I did. Outwardly, however, I looked fucking humbled. Astaroth laughed, clapping his claws together.
Oh yes, little man,
He said.
You clever little... What's that word you're overly fond of? Bastard. You clever little bastard.
I bowed my head.
Then if that's the case,
I said, carefully.
with your leave, I should return, should I not? To Earth.
He arched a brow.
You want to leave me so soon? Are you tired of my company? Am I not a formidable wit?
He pouted.
The ring remains there,
I replied.
and the timing of this, it's inconvenient like.
He studied me. It were a right long period of study too. I were getting right worried he might dismiss this request actually, which would have been more than a fucking inconvenience. It would have been outside the bounds of my master fucking plan. Any roads, after what felt like an eternity, he waved a claw dismissively.
Go then.
He said,
You've somehow and sickeningly... Well, you've earned it.
I smiled. Something small, black and feline caught me eye before it flashed out of existence. The reality tore open behind me. As I stepped towards the portal, he called out.
Oh, and before you go, Belphastus...
Don't disappoint me!
I smiled and quietly said to myself, I never do, you bastard. And I meant it. Because the ring will not summon him, it will bind him. And when I'm done, hell will belong to no one who believes they've already won. I've learned something very important about Astaroth. He mistakes confidence for control, and that shall be his downfall.
Well, it was done. It's my job to go and check if Belphastus was dead, and if he wasn't dead, well, I suppose it's my job to dead him. Instead of a possible verb. I got out of the car and zipped my jacket against the cold. I could smell the rich leather now, because it was close to my nose.
His heart is slowing.
Said Fen, my invisible wolf soul. Mm-hmm, I replied as I set off on my short journey. I could already smell the tantalising tang of fresh blood. It was very distracting, so much so I raised the cup in my hands to my nose to distract my wolfy senses from the blood in the air. Ah, coffee.
Devil's perspiration,
said Fen. Not how I would describe it, I replied. It was very cold outside the car. Well, it would be, wouldn't it? So I tucked my chin into the collar of my jacket to seal in the heat. Once I was happy to contend with the cooler night, I wandered to the scene of the murder. Murder? I don't know if it... the killing? Whatever. I sipped at the cup of caffeine as I walked. Flat, white, extra hot. The barista had smiled at me like the world wasn't ending in slow motion, and I'd smiled back because, well, manners cost nothing and blood cost more. And to be honest, she was very pretty. As I entered the alley, I could see that Belphastus lay on the ground in front of Nicha, cooling fast. Steam curled faintly from his abdomen where the liquid warmth was leaving him. It was as if his soul had already packed and sort of gone ahead. Nicha knelt beside the body, not touching it, not really looking at it either. He was hunched in on himself, rocking slightly, hands shaking, eyes wide and unfocused. He noticed my approach. I didn't, he whispered. I didn't mean, I didn't mean. Fenrir watched through me, his presence a pressure behind my eyes.
He's bloody breaking.
Yes, I replied silently. It's pathetic. Nicha dragged his hands through his hair and made a sound somewhere between a sob and a laugh. It echoed badly off the rough concrete walls of the alley. Oh God, he said. Oh God, what have I done?
Not much to do with his god, is it?
Fen echoed in my skull. I smirked and sipped my coffee, and then I waited. These kinds of moments are either become interesting or just generally tedious. Fenrir tilted his invisible head.
He bloody feels wrong,
Fen said.
Why is he crying?
That, I murmured, is guilt.
Bloody disgusting,
Fen replied. Eventually, I got bored, so I stepped forward. My boots made a small sound on the wet tarmac and grit. Nicha flinched like I'd shot him. Evening, I said. He stared up at me, eyes red, wild, searching for my face for, I don't know, condemnation, forgiveness, perhaps a script. I didn't see you, he stammered. I was just over there, I said, pointing at the opening at the end of the alley. You were quite busy with him, I continued, pointing at the body. I took another drink. I looked down at Belphastus, admiring the work Nicha had done. He'd done a marvellous job, really. I continued drinking the bitter drink, partly to hide the delightful, sort of exciting stench of the blood in the air, and partly because, well, it was coffee and I really like coffee. Messy, I added. Nicha followed my gaze and gagged for a moment. Oh God, he said. I killed him. I killed a man. I held a finger up to stop him from talking. He waited. No, shh, not yet, you haven't. Wait, I told him. Right. Yeah. I kicked the body. It was now cold and unmoving as its heart gave its last slow bump. Yep, I agree. Now you did. You killed him. And I smiled. The word did seemed to sort of hit Nicha harder than killed. I didn't mean to, he said. I sniggered at this. Well, he obviously bloody did. I laughed, pointing at the corpse. He shook his head as though this action would mean that he had not meant the kill. No. Oh, pathetic. pathetic. Here comes the excuse. I was angry. I was so angry. I just snapped. It was blind range. I wasn't thinking. He bleated. Yeah, that's kind of usually when it works the best, to be honest. It's also when it's the most fun and rewarding. He stared at me. I crouched down so we were sort of closer to eye level. Fenrir prowled around him unseen, sniffing the air like something interesting and had finally wandered into his territory. I'd like to ask a personal question. What did it feel like for you? I asked. I was really interested. I really wanted to know how it felt for this normal man to kill. It must have been so cathartic, right? Nicha blinked. What? I mean, when you stabbed him, I said as I reenacted the stabbing motion to Belphastus' belly with great enthusiasm. Come on, tell me how did it feel? I looked for the man's expression in response. It was twisted with horror at the realization of what he'd done.
Fuck's sake,
said Fen.
As I said, pathetic.
My heart fell a little. I was disappointed in Nicha's response. The taking and giving of lives was life's ultimate sort of action and fun. I thought I'd try again. Come on. You've got to tell me, what did it feel like? That's... Yeah? That's a horrible question. I slapped him, and he fell to his butt as he held his cheek and stared at me in disbelief and shock. Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Sorry. I lied, trying to placate him. But it's not a horrible question in this context, in this case. In this context, it's a practical one. I feel sick, he said.
Pathetic.
Fen shoots into my mind. I turned to look at the wolf soul. The wolf soul that poor Nicha could not see. Can you bloody stop with the pathetic... I get it, I told him. You think this man... I pointed at Nicha as Nicha tried desperately to find what I was talking to. You get it, I get it, Fen. You think he's pathetic, yeah? Nicha tensed and... He re-gripped the knife in his hand. He must have thought that I was, I don't know, a madman talking out loud to nothing. He was actually thinking about it. He was actually thinking about using the knife for a second time. Oh, I felt a little thrill. And then he fucking crumbled and collapsed to the floor.
Pathetic,
said the wolf. I gave Fen a quick grimace before returning to the sobbing, pathetic, damn man. I feel like I'm gonna throw up forever, the prone figure mumbled. No, for fuck's sake. No, you don't understand what I'm asking you. I'm not asking you how you feel now, you fuck shit. Sorry. I had to calm down, otherwise the loser would just fail and fall into silence. Not how you feel now, I said. I mean then, mate.
Mate? Mate? Mate?
Flashed into my head from Fen with a tone of mirth. I shook my head at him as though this would clear it of the wolf's words. You know, when you were doing the stabby, again I did the action of doing the stabby. Silence, a little bit more silence with a little bit of sobbing. Fenrir's presence sharpened.
Ask again,
he urged. I waved him down and nodded to him. I'm gonna. I just give me a second. So I did ask again. Nicha's breathing went shallow, his hands curled into fists, his jaws, it sort of tightened like he was biting down on something inside himself. "It's," he said, then stopped. Look, mate, don't, mate, I won't judge," I told him. I bloody would, but he didn't need to know that, did he? He shook his head violently. No, it was a mistake. I regret it. I hate myself.
I bloody hate him too. How dull, kill him.
Fenrir muttered. I frowned. Give me strength. Anyway, what was there? There had to be a moment. I pressed. I mean, like, even a tiniest moment. Like, I emphasised the smallness of what I was asking by doing the thing where, you show you how small the gap is between your finger and thumb. And I don't know, it's body language shit, isn't it? No! He sort of expirated. I waited. His shoulders sagged. His body was racked with sobs suddenly as he did that emoting thing fucking humans do.
What time is it?
Fenrir asked sarcastically as we waited.
I left the bloody oven on.
Fuck off, Fen! I told him. He laughed in my head and then it came. Yeah. He whispered. What? What, I asked? Yeah. Ah, there it was. When the knife went in, he said, voice cracking. When he stopped laughing, it was like something snapped back into place, like the world made sense for a second.
Ah, shit,
said Fen.
I bloody owe you 5 pence on that bet. Who knew he actually had a set of balls?
Nicha's eyes filled. I felt powerful, he said. I felt right, and then it went away. Fenrir smiled beside me.
Good,
he said.
He understands the truth.
I felt it too. I had a sort of flicker of pride for Nicha. Not fatherly, not really kind, but a recognition that he understood that hate has power and a sort of reward when acted on. It's fucking satisfying to see. And then Nicha folded. He collapsed forward, curling into himself, arms wrapped tight around his knees, sobbing loud, ugly, wet sobs. I reached out to sort of pat him, as though I was going to comfort him before I realised what I was doing. What the fuck?
What the fuck are you doing?
Laughed Fen.
You want to make him feel better. Oh, look at you, isn't that lovely?
Fuck off, Fen. Nicha continued breaking on the floor, the kind of breakdown that children have when they don't understand why the pain hasn't stopped yet. I stood. I watched him for a long moment. I considered killing him. It would be easy, mercy even, but there was nothing in it. He was already ruined. Pathetic. I spat. Fenrir laughed.
Now you get it,
he replied. We turned away together. I walked out of the alley, coffee finished, warmth fading into the cold night. I pulled out my phone as I went. Simon answered on the second ring. It's done, I said. A pause.
By which you presumably mean he's dead.
Yeah, yes, presumably I do.
Good. I'm very pleased to hear that. And despair?
I glanced back once. Nicha was still curled on the ground, crying beside the body and shaking like the world had finally noticed him. Which was what he wanted, wasn't it? Sadly not dead. I meant it. Sadly not dead. It would have probably been better for him. I ended the call. I walked out the alley and tossed the empty cup on the ground. I was littering on purpose. Littering before the police who were sitting in that black BMW stupid series. It was Ben and Sula. You bloody rebel, aren't you, huh? Laughed Fen. I nodded at the beamer. Its headlights flashed. I wandered over to the Audi. Well, whoever's Audi this was, who'd given it me as their dying wish this evening. I stopped and I watched the two people decamp from the vehicle and walk towards the alley. Nicha's night was only gonna get worse. Poor, pathetic bastard.
Brought to you in association with Grendel Press. This is Werewolf the Podcast, a serial killer drama.